Hey all, welcome to the TSR Bagocast. We've all had a fucking week, so again, we're tired. Let's just start with our weeks, and we'll save Legon for all last, because he's got the biggest week out of all of us.
Or at least the most eventful.
Yeah, let's start good. Zeus, how was your week?
Yeah, my week was, it was pretty fun. I started to... okay, I'll start with the BB Tag tournament. I made a goal of mine. I won my first match in the tournament here, so that's great.
Right. You won your first tournament?
No, my first match.
Oh, okay.
Not a set. Just a match in Swiss, so I have something to hang my progress on. And
gotcha.
Overall, I feel better about my... even though I didn't really act like it's Sunday night, like reflecting back on it, I felt pretty good on my progress. And I definitely want to get back to it. I have a tournament coming up on Saturday as well for local. I want to play some Smash later, and also we'll be competing this weekend. So,
gotcha.
Yeah, I'm excited for all that. I played a bit more Final Fantasy 15 as well.
How's that going?
Great. I helped save the Chocobos already, so I can ride them around. Sure beats walking.
Right.
So yeah, love the Chocobos. Love the.
I want to ride that Chocobo.
I do like the car and the Chocobos, and
Yes, pronto. We'll get your Chocobo.
it's kind of just simulator, like blah blah blah. It's fun to just enjoy the visuals of that game. Is for as many problems as that game can have, it's nice to just enjoy the visuals of it.
Yeah, it's a well-crafted world, I think. It's got a mix of many cultural influences in the cities, as well as the type of natural backgrounds, and even going at night's pretty cool because you don't know what's going to pop up. That's pretty much been my week outside of a lot of work, but no one wants to hear about that.
No.
Yeah, bullshit. Here's the part where I go in and say we have been playing Dead Rising 2.
True.
No, you'll.
Shameless plug.
Yes, Zeus.
No.
Yeah, in case anybody has missed that, me and Zeus have also been playing Dead Rising 2.
And they've been getting shit on by a fucking chef half the time.
That was last week.
Yeah, that was last week, but this week
But you
we
just fuck up
fucked
now. How'd you fuck up? What'd you do?
Not again.
Well,
Just tell us. You don't get to be all.
so we had a fucking 2-hour stream.
Amy.
We had 2 hours. We had a 2-hour stream, and none of us remembered to save. So Zeus messed up. I died while trying to save him, and all those 2 hours of regression went to fucking shit.
Oh.
So yeah, that's a thing.
That's painful.
That reminds me of my first ever hardcore run in RE2.
Yeah, how does that stuff fucking exist in 2020? I almost said 2019.
Dead Rising 2 is a game from the 2010s.
Yeah,
but I thought it still had an autosave implementation.
Nope.
Checkpoints weren't a thing until off the record. So yeah.
Wow.
And Dead Rising 3 had autosaves, but that kind of made it a little bit more easier. And
Dead Rising T.
Dead Rising 2, and Dead Rising 4 is the worst fucking game ever made. So let's not even talk about that. So yeah.
Right. All right. Well, Yule, how's your week then? Since that's pretty much all Legon or Zeus really. Got into.
Besides Dead Rising 2, I also have gone back to the original Dead Rising, actually.
Oh, yeah?
I plan on writing an article about it because I actually have been having a lot more fun than I remember in my first playthrough, so... Yeah, I actually am...
That's interesting considering, it's such an archaic game in comparison to 2. I think 2 just does a lot of things better than 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hear you there, but I also believe that the first game had a lot of great and innovative practices at the time, and it's still fun to play even today. Like, I have died quite a few times because this game is hard as hell, but that's pretty much what you expect from a survival horror game at this point. So yeah.
Well, because I think maybe the first one tried a little more to be that, but I'm pretty sure Dead Rising has always been kind of a, I wouldn't call it survival horror, because it's not even trying to scare you. It's just trying to be very zany and wacky. Even since
It's
the first
survival.
one.
At the very
Yeah,
survival,
the first game definitely went more for horror, especially with the aesthetic. Like even the psychopaths. I recently fought Adam again, and
I just don't think it's horror. I feel like the fact that you can wear a fucking Servbot head takes the horror out of it.
yeah, I understand that as well. But for example, we have the octopus suit in one horror game, and we have another like I think a clown suit in another, and Heather becomes a fucking Sailor Moon scout. So you know.
But I think one-off little cost, it's different than an entire game's tonal approach. You know what I mean? Like, I get what you're saying, but like, I think one-off little costumes are different. Because like Leon wore a gangster suit in original RE2, and you can be Polygon Leon in 2 remake. I think like
Polygon Leon. No,
yeah, costumes and unlockables are different than you can literally get all these wacky zany.
This is something that's part of the main game and the base story.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, like I said, I believe that in its core, like when you do only the story missions, which is what I've been doing, I basically been focusing on the quest, not so much on exploring the mall, which for some reason I still remember off the top of my head. I even got to the point where I actually went so fast that I had to actively wait for the side quest to pop up.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I believe that Dead Rising is still a pretty solid experience, and I'm going to write a little bit about my thoughts in the full article. In other news, I have been playing Temtem, Dawn of the Breakers, and Temtem is slowly becoming my new obsession, man. Like
Temtem is to you, Final Fantasy XIV is to me.
Yeah, I think so.
Wow, we
I think
found Yule's fucking MMO. Glorious.
honestly, like I like every single time I pick up Temtem, I start to want to play more and more and more and more of it. Like it's it's just amazing. Like I haven't felt this excited about a Pokemon game since Generation 5.
And that's funny because it's not a Pokemon game if you think about it.
And the funny thing is, I honestly says I'm not really I don't normally play Pokemon at all, and I certainly won't now, considering what Sword and Shield is going through. I am most likely only going to support Temtem just to say I don't like Sword and Shield and where it's going.
Fair enough. I think, honestly, there was one thing I heard about Temtem, because I've been hearing a lot about Temtem, which is good. Keep it up. But one thing I heard about Temtem was that it literally, it's it may not have great, what's the word? It may not have great designs that match up to Pokemon, but the thing it has over Pokemon is it has very, very fluid and amazing animations.
Yes, like some of the basic attacks you get tend to start to be cinematic, and it's pretty.
And that's something Pokemon has been lacking since it's been lacking since it's turned 3D, to be honest. Because the 2D stuff and even the 2D with animation sprites moving was just better because it just worked better. And whenever it went to 3D, it just got so static.
Yeah.
In the case. Sorry
you
to cut you
know
off, but in the case of.
Okay, no, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off, but in the case of
I want to say something real quick. Legon, that's why you keep trying to finish people's points, and it's like, it's not. Cut people off.
Okay.
Okay, so one of the attacks in Temtem that actually floored me was one called Boomerang, where you literally see the opposing Temtem spinning around in a midi cyclone that's been forming and then gets slammed into the floor. That is such attention to detail that I really love. And my God, if the Pokemon games were like that, where even the simplest of attacks had really, really good animations, man, things will be different. Like, we also have something like Double Kick, where Mayoshiara literally turns around and kicks with the hind legs. You know? A double kick!
Yeah,
Such
what
a
you'd
fucking
imagine from a whole
concept, right?
True. Yeah.
Like,
Speaking of double kick, remember Sword and Shield's initial, oh, we have to delay the game for animations, the high quality animation of moving up a frame for double kick.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it got fully proven wrong, but I feel like wasn't some of that debunked that even if they didn't reuse the 3DS file animations, it's like they look so close to the fucking 3D ones, or even if they reused them from Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, and Let's Go Pikachu reused files from the 3DS games.
Plenty of designers have looked at them extensively, and people have basically wondered why the hell do these sprites have as many vertices and as many basically 3D design aspects as the 3DS sprites.
Right.
And
Basically the same
examples,
polygon count.
yeah, and in some instances people have asked, well, if they're not from the 3DS, then why is Gyarados the whiskers he has? Why are they still spiked instead of round like they should be? There's obviously very blatant proof that the designs were taken from the 3DS games, as much as Game Freak likes to deny that.
Yeah. And there's
Not
credit to
customers,
deny,
but people.
but even if they even if there's credit to denying it, and it's like you clearly took it and made the new animations using backup data.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you can't really get fully away with it because it's like, come on, you legitimately are using that old data to at least form the new ones. So anyway, yeah, that's good. Temtem's good. I'm kind of glad.
And it seems like it's gonna get better, because quite recently I went to see that you actually are going to get. We're going to get clubs, which are basically going to be guilds for Temtem. We're also going to get our own houses and stuff. So we basically are going to start, getting our fucking TSR house. And
I can't wait for the housing market crash.
I know, right?
The housing market economy boom of Final Fantasy XIV. I mean Temtem.
Yeah.
No, both, because it already happened in Final Fantasy XIV 10 times over.
Yeah.
I was there for the Great Shirogane War.
Although I think for Temtem, it's great that you're having a lot of fun with it, because I definitely do want to find time to play it and try it myself. But I've been noticing recently, just want to brings up briefly, this game is bringing out a lot of Pokemon shilling from some early going critics. They're already slamming the game as a dumb knockoff.
Because to be fair, there were a lot of dumb knock. Someone said it. One of the podcasts I listened to said it best. If this came out in the fucking early thousands, this would just be thrown into the Digimon pile of even though Digimon is a quality series that deserves its own reputation of praise, it won't get it because people already slammed it as a fucking Digimon or a Pokemon clone.
Even then, I also hear that Digimon
different
itself
Pokemon.
is coming to an end in the
What?
anime.
Hold on. What? Okay, you both said something at the same time.
Yeah, it's Digimon. It sucks because Digimon, the battle system is way different than Pokemon. So
It's different, and I'm not gonna say either or is better, but I definitely get where you're coming from with that.
I think that Temtem is better than Pokemon downright. Fuck anyone who says otherwise.
Well, I think that's, to be honest, Yul, I think that's what's causing people to kind of slam it the way they are, is because that's even jumping a little too far. I think Pokemon has a lot of good games in it. It's just recently it's not been kind to us. And I think Temtem's good, but it's I'm not gonna sit here and go Temtem's better than Pokemon because it's the new thing and it's saying fuck Sword and Shield and ha 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 ha. It's
I have actually good reasons to think so. For example, the fact that it's catered more towards the competitive side of things instead of just winging it like the Pokemon team has been doing for the last few years. No,
they have a competitive scene.
Yes.
They do.
Yeah, it's true, but it's I also think that I think one of the few. I'm not gonna defend it. I think that their excuses of it are a joke, but the reality is it's a game in the '90s that was made for kids to just hang out and have fun with. It wasn't made for fucking Oh, that's gonna be rude. It wasn't made for us.
You were going to call me a neckbeard.
Yeah, I was, because I was thinking it, but I was I know it's not fair, but it's it wasn't. It's not made just for how do I put this? It's not made for our generation to go and like. It unlike Smash, it definitely has the actual like. Okay, this is not meant to be played by 30-year-olds competitively in tournaments and all that stuff. It's not intended for that. So I get it, but I think the one thing that makes me mad about that reality is that they tried to say it was made for that. They tried to say that it played in a factor into why they didn't add so many Pokemon and balancing, and it's like, come on, guys.
That's
They're
laughable.
just
I
going up to
really,
it.
yeah, I honestly,
Yeah, just going up to it.
yeah, and for example, some of the people in this team, like the aforementioned Nation, like for a while thought that the competitive Pokemon scene is the reason why Pokemon was so screwed. I pretty much proved to her why that wasn't the case, because even the Pokemon competitive scene kinda doesn't like how they're being treated right now,
Yeah.
especially with how they keep fucking up the game.
Yeah.
Mega
and it's kinda
Evolutions, and now we have the Gigantamax and Dynamax.
Yeah.
And I can understand where Yule's, not to cut off, but real quick, I understand where Yule's coming from with the idea that, oh, they're pandering to the competitive side, therefore it's better. And it's kind of true, because Pokemon is in this weird crossroads where it's like, they kind of don't want to focus on it, but then it's become such a big community, you know? So it's like, it's hard to ignore them. But it's like, I can understand the argument that it's like, Pokemon's not always just meant to be this for you competitive folk, you know? No offense, but it kind of isn't. It's meant to be for the kids that just want to collect the damn monsters with the balls and shit.
But the
I get that.
fans don't want to hear that. The fans really don't want to hear that, and a lot of people that
Yeah.
argue against it
Are justified as well. I think there's a lot of justification on both sides. Which
yeah,
makes it
and,
weird.
and
Sorry,
unfortunately, it's been a constant source of toxicity and division among fans.
And this is why I think that Temtem is better at doing so, because they're openly admitting that their main focus is the competitive scene, and you can see that from things like as menial as the stats, because you can actually see the hidden values that those things that make or break a Pokemon build in competitive Pokemon. Yeah, you can see those in Temtem, and they pretty much put them front and center for you to view and build your strategy around.
That's cool, but we can't ignore the fact that it's like, okay, what if you start putting off the competitive people, or not the I just fucked my own point up. What if you? No, the reality is, what if you start putting off the people that want to play it casually because you want to focus on the competitive scene? Are you just literally going to get good them and toxic them out of your community because you're focusing on the other side of it?
You simply don't say anything. Like Temtem has been doing this thing where they push their changes based on the competitive scene, but they don't necessarily impact the casual experience. Like, for example, I have a friend called Ghost who has been playing the game cooperatively with me. And that's the thing. You can actually play the entire adventure with a friend. So this is basically, and you basically share a team where one partner has 3 of the same teams, and you have 3 of your own, and share the entire adventure in 2v2 battles. Pretty amazing, especially with the sync moves.
That's kind of cool, but I feel like you have to go into that with the mentality of actually like, okay, we're playing co-op, we have to strategic, and it's like that's not going to be for everyone. To be fair,
yeah. Besides, that wasn't my point. So yeah, I am playing the game casually. I'm not planning on getting this getting the competitive stuff until like I am fairly certain that I can make a guild for TSR and stuff like that. So, but my friend is already doing, breeding and EV and IV training just to make sure that his competitive, Temtem builds are up to snuff. And yeah, the adventure hasn't gotten any slower for either of us, because we're focusing on still playing the game and having fun. One of them is more focused on the competitive, while the other is doing their own thing. And if you want to go on your adventure alone, you can do that. Like just play with your party of 6 Temtem, and go ahead, destroy the world.
yeah.
Trading.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, you can trade multiple items, you can trade multiple Temtem. You get rewarded for releasing Temtem. Basically almost every criticism that I had towards Pokemon is being addressed in this thing, especially even down to the freaking way the battles work.
Let's not like go into a damn lecture about what Temtem is. We're starting to get a little
let's not make this the Temtem
We're starting to get a
podcast.
little too wordy about it. We're starting to get a little too wordy about it. But it's like my opinion is that it's cool, and then just some of the downsides, because it sounds like sometimes Yule gets this way where a new thing happens that's good, and it's better than the thing he wants to say fuck you, and then he acts like it's perfect. Well, it's not. I think
I'm not saying that it's perfect. I'm not saying that
it
it's
literally
perfect,
says
though.
it's better than Pokemon. I mean, it kind of is. I mean, there's two sides of it. Here's some of the negatives that I think. I think it's good, but and the MMO thing is something that I think Pokemon should try. But the reality is, it is going to eventually block out casual people. I mean, the reality is, you may think it won't, but I think it will, because the MMO structure is going to be, you're playing, even with competitive, it's like you're playing online against people, where it's going to get to a point where you're going to go online and play and get fucking demolished by someone with level million fucking Temtem. That's an exaggeration, absolutely, don't get me wrong. But, like, and the concept of an MMO other than 14, a lot of MMOs have that problem where it's like, there's kind of a barrier of entry problem after a certain point of the game existing.
We'll have to see how.
And
We'll have to see how the development team handles that kind of thing with the end game and stuff like that. Because remember, this is still early access.
Yeah.
And I think that so far you get your money's worth. Like, people are complaining about the $35 asking price.
It is a little steep for something that's new, but I get it. It's definitely pulling its weight in terms of being understandably, like, this is a decent $35. It's not one of the it's not a mighty number 9 $30. That makes sense.
and you get like 40 hours of content. Like, so far I have 20 something hours. No, 20 hours exactly. And I still haven't got. I just finished the second dojo, so I am getting my money's worth. So I don't have to worry about it.
Glad to hear it, Yul.
Yeah, and so it's like, and I think the MMO structure does that. And then, like I said, the designs are kind of, they scream. This may not sound like a negative to some, but to me, it's like, we kind of get it. You guys love Pokemon, and you wanted to make your fan Pokemon, and it's at the perfect time to do it. Don't get me wrong, it really is. But there's also a feeling of these designs. I mean, Pokemon designs have faltered in some recent years, but they always have some pretty solid design.
That is.
And this is
in terms of design. In terms of design, Temtem
it's just not going to match. It's just not going to match up. And I do think that it looks really good for an indie game, but it definitely looks pretty old. But I think with actual Sword and Shield, that's a hard nitpick because, well, Sword and Shield just has fucking problems.
Problems we won't get into again.
I mean, we've already gotten to it a billion times, so it's like, Sword and Shield has problems. So I think Temtem would have a negative in that regard if Sword and Shield didn't already look like fucking ass. Yeah.
In terms of I believe that there are some problems with Temtem. Like, for example, the grind can get a little bit stingy, and the fact that you have to the encounter rates are kind of, it's basically balanced around the fact that you have to play against trainers or tamers to actually get real experience, because otherwise you'll have to grind a lot, and that's kind of dumb.
But and that's another negative where it's like, the grind is, if you're gonna make a new Pokemon thing, I know we've been complaining about it's like Pokemon's too easy, you don't need to do, but it's like there's also a level of, I don't want to sit here for hours grinding on shit.
Yeah,
that's one of the things in Pokemon that can be balanced way better in both directions.
But the real thing is that the real thing that I love about Temtem, and something that became a deal.
All right, make this your last point because we're moving on.
Is the fact that it's RNG free. As you get inflicted with a status condition such a poison, and you get, like, for example, the target has been poisoned for 2 turns, and only those 2 turns Not wait until you get lucky enough so the potion wears off on your next turn. No,
Wait,
just get
what? Okay, I'm confused. You say that doesn't make any sense.
what?
You just said if you get poisoned, you're only poisoned for 2 turns. That's not how it worked in Pokemon either. Like if you get poisoned in Pokemon, you have to just you have to take an antidote or that's not an RNG factor.
Oh, well,
It gets
actually,
worse
something
over
like,
time.
Yeah, something like sleep.
It used to. They didn't
Sleep.
do that anymore.
Sleep. So, for example, if you get
okay. So
if you
sleep
get
is
slept-
like RNG in how you wake
Yeah.
up certain
Yes.
turns. Okay.
Yeah, in Tentem, you get slept and you only get slept for, let's say, 1 turn, and that's it. You know, basically the status effects have a certain quantity of turns before they expire.
They're fixed values.
So yeah, exactly.
But I can understand that, but with some of them like sleep, it kind of threatens to make them useless because if you know how it's going to work, then it's like, what's the point? Your opponent knows how many turns they're going to get fucked, and they can just, it kind of null and voids the idea of it being an actual problem you have to overcome. But at the same time, in the competitive play of Pokemon, an RNG move can kind of, I guess it goes both ways. I'll take it because an RNG move is exactly the problem with fucking Hero and Smash, and it's
exactly. So don't start saying that RNG.
yeah. So it's like, but I think at the same time, if you have it a fix, I think that it should be like 5 turns. You should know sleep should last like 5 turns. It shouldn't just be 1. That kind of makes it useless. What's the point?
So yeah,
But that's still an example.
I'm gonna stop gushing about Tentem. I still need to play a little bit more.
We're getting a little too.
Please.
This is
Thank
worse
you.
than my 14 segments.
Shut up.
Yeah, at least
Okay,
like
Phil.
on short and sweet.
Okay, wait, your turn to talk about your week before we go into the other MMO.
Other.
Oh, believe me, we're actually not going to talk about that very much.
Yeah, nothing new in 14 even happened, so there's nothing to really talk about.
Yeah.
My week was pretty short and sweet. Played some RE2, got fucked over, playing that hunk stuff for the eventual LP, because
Got
that's, spoiler
fucked
alert,
over.
I'm doing the hunk stuff. It's a great game. I love RE2. I wish I was better at it. I wish I could keep practicing it. I probably will. So yeah, but it's the sad thing with RE2, and every time I play it, I'm like, I'm practicing RE2 again and again, but I could be getting back my Devil May. I could be even finishing new games I've started, and it's like, Speaking of new games I started, though, I'll probably get that new Dragon Ball Z Kakarot just to talk about it and play it, because it looks pretty dope.
I want to get it too. Damn
It
it.
looks fun. So I'll probably pick it up on next payday. Other than that, I've been practicing Smash, which, we'll get into later.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Okay, Lagon, your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna start with the good. Because there is a lot of bad.
I'm assuming a lot of your week is IRL stuff, too.
Yeah, that's most of the bad stuff, unsurprisingly.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start with the good stuff.
Let's-
Firstly,
One thing.
Remake 2. I've been doing more and more challenge runs on that, so I've finished a hardcore handgun knife only run and a minimalist handgun knife only run in standard mode.
Remember when?
Nice. Remember when I said I wish I could get better at the game? It's because Legon is good at the game.
No, remember when I said that I was going to do that?
Yeah. Remember Legon did it in like a fucking afternoon. GG's us.
Infinite rocket
Yeah,
launcher.
exactly.
I already got that.
Oh,
Yeah, he literally stole the
Aside from that, I've
he's-
also been working on relic weapons in 14, and that's coming along nicely, except for the actual grind. Ugh.
Relic weapons. Does that mean you can down B people into fucking Okay, let's not.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah,
I want to
save
get
it.
to
Come on,
it.
keep going.
And aside from that, I'm also just been honestly enjoying Persona 2, because it's essentially my favorite of the Persona games in general. Persona 5 comes close, but it's more my favorite modern Persona game than my favorite Persona period. So, yeah, and that,
This culture swine doesn't know what Persona 4 is, so yeah.
no, I know what it is, and I absolutely hate it.
Uncultured swine.
I like 4 a little bit over 5 because I just think 5. That's something we'll have to say for the LP. But first, quick thoughts. I just think 5 takes a little too much from 4 for it to be my favorite. I feel like 4 did a lot of things first.
Yeah,
Not a lot, but a couple things first.
I'm gonna agree with that for the most part, but I just
fair.
think that the things that 5 does different, it does a lot better.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, whatever.
Just because something is first doesn't mean it's automatically better. Let's
That's
get
true,
that
but I
straight
also
up.
think the
Don't
thing
get-
is...
don't get-
That's something we can go into
encourage
details
you to.
into another time.
Yeah, it's something for another
I'm just saying
time.
I agree because that's a dumb position to take.
I
Oh,
don't-
it was
well,
first.
I'm not taking that position fully though, because it's like I think that the things that 4 do first, I also do like them more in 4.
Okay,
yeah.
well, there you go.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Now for
Yeah.
the bad. I've gotten back into work because I've had to take a sick leave, and absolutely nothing has changed at all.
Oh, great.
Except for the
Oh,
fact
boy.
that we lost one of our best employees.
Oh, that's a heartbreaking thing to come back into. I
Yeah.
haven't had that happen, but I know how that.
And now I'm
Excuse me.
essentially the
I know how
most
that would feel.
experienced employee there. At less than a year.
That's brutal. You know, I feel like I am in my first month, and I feel more experienced than other people.
Yeah.
But yeah, continue. Okay, so
And
wait, is that all the bad?
no, that's just the icing
The
on
tip
the
of the
figurative
iceberg?
cake. The next thing is my tire blew out on my way to work on my first day going back there.
That's a
So
bad.
I
sign.
had to pull over on the side of the road with a blown out tire. Fortunately, I had a spare, but wouldn't you know it, another problem occurred where where I had to put the tire jack in order to lift up the tire so I could take it off my car and replace it, was rusted out. So I had to do it in a most unorthodox fashion just to get my car off the ground to replace the...
Oh my god, you can tell he's losing your shit.
It's
But you
just
got your
everything.
workout at least.
Yeah, but he plays Final Fantasy 14 for 8 hours a day. Do you think he really wants to work out? I don't blame him. I mean, like, some
Yeah, why not?
It's more the fact I don't want my
busting
car
ass
crushing
today,
my
I don't like
hand.
it. That's also true.
Yeah, that's also true. God damn
Yeah,
it.
there's no man working out that can fix that, Zeus. Even your muscle man ass self.
No, not unless you go to a ninja gym and just rep that ultimate clip.
Oh yeah, sure. Just go to that
Why do
ninja
you-
gym where you
Yeah,
learn
yeah,
immortality.
I'm gonna go to my new-
I'll have you repeat that after that, but if you're fucking lifting cars, Zeus, what the fuck do you hang out with us? I mean, I'm a strong man too. I'm somewhat muscly too, but what the fuck are you doing here? If you can lift
I'm doing a
fucking
lot
Braun
of things.
Strowman ass motherfucker lifting jeeps, like, get out of here.
guy is just a meme. This guy is just a walking meme at this point.
What the hell? Like, I just think of like
Get on my
macho.
level.
Yeah,
my
I
level,
think of
man.
the most roided out fucking dude in my head now. It's like, I love fucking video games. Oh, do you hear me, brother? Like, all right.
Go to the church.
Calm
bitch.
down, Waldstein.
Yeah, Zeus is Waldstein at this point. Oh my god.
Wow.
Actually, probably more
Speaking of
Tager, but anyway. Another bad thing is, I still haven't gotten my paycheck for this week.
Oh, if they're still fucking you on that paycheck stuff, I would literally just be
This
like,
is a
dude, I'm gonna
second
sue
one.
you. Yeah, I would be like, I'm gonna sue you if you don't stop this, because it's ridiculous. You deserve to be paid for your work. It doesn't matter what they think.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Mismanagement to the highest degree right there.
Yeah, that's bad. I don't care if they mismanage my schedule even. I already have my days off getting split up and shit. But like, if they weren't paying me, I'd be like, oh hell no.
Give
Oh,
them
hell
my
no.
money.
Yeah, and
All
it's
hell will
why
break
I'm already
loose.
looking for another job, because this one, it's already going down the drain regardless.
Yeah,
Just
I
because of the
would.
management in and of itself. It's like, hey, this one person
Yeah.
was supposed to come in today, but they weren't able to, so, oh, nobody's opened the store because the boss couldn't get anybody to replace them on time.
Wow, GG's.
That's
So
happened
anything else?
countless times.
Yeah, so anything else add to the horrible day?
Nothing really extreme. I guess a little bit of levity is that, I guess I already shared this story a week before, but it's very simple and to the point. Since I've already mentioned my car, I may as also mention this other thing that's semi-related to work and my car. Since I live in Florida, if you didn't already know, I ended up, like, one day when I was driving to work, there just so happened to be a lizard that just popped up on my windshield one day. It's like, hi?
Oh yeah, that's kind
And
of cool. That's
it
kinda
just
one of those
stayed
weird,
on my
like,
windshield throughout the entire ride.
Right.
Yeah, it was months
That
ago
is-
though.
It's a little
I
funny.
don't
so
like
random.
lizards. It's sad.
That is
You
so
do what
sudden
with-
and
Do
random.
what with
like,
lizards?
what am
No,
I
my
supposed
cousin
to?
has a big phobia of those lizards,
Oh,
and
that's
they're
sad.
everywhere.
It was
Florida.
only the size of my
Right.
index finger though.
Yeah, still. It's bad.
I can just
Hey, man, you can't-
They
Yeah,
smell when
explain.
they're the worst ones.
I can just imagine the thought of a man
good.
literally running away from a very small lizard.
I
Yeah,
see that,
it's like-
dude. It's not pretty.
You see your cousin like, and he's just running, sprinting, and it's like a little baby lizard going.
Exactly.
That's exactly
What a monster, man!
They
That
are
thing is
dangerously
scary.
fast though.
No,
They can, yeah, that's true. Lizards can be deceptively speedy and quick.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the wormy SpongeBob, like
Oh
you know,
yeah,
yeah, it's adorable as shit, and then he approaches you and you get a zoom in of a fucking
like monster.
yeah, like I love insects, but at the same time I hate them.
Right.
They just look so fucking creepy, dude.
Yeah, I have the same. I mean, like I think insects are pretty cool looking, and they're pretty cool parts of nature. But there's sometimes where I'm like, yeah, that thing is gonna mess me up, and I just don't want anything to do with it.
That thing is going to kill me.
Yeah. You ever
Squish.
see one of those near human-sized spiders? Like, fuck that shit.
Ugh.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, it's just scary thinking about it.
Creep me the fuck out, man.
Like
Right.
I'm fine with normal size spiders because it's like they aren't really gonna bother me. It's like, hey, yeah, go ahead and take care of the mosquitoes and other stuff that get in the house. I don't mind.
Yeah.
But stuff that's
But
the
then
size
there-
of a human, it's like they're gonna eat me.
Well, obviously, yeah, it's like I'm lower on the food chain, so this is a problem. Yo, I'll solve it,
Yeah,
but I
I've
can't
seen,
solve it.
I've seen moths, like big moths. Those things scare the fuck out of me. Like, no joke.
Yeah. Also, I'd like to point out that during my Smash practice, because normally I keep the docket up so I can do things in the background while we're doing podcasts. I'd like to point out in my Smash practice that I'm in a quick play, and there's someone playing an orange Incineroar, and you want to know what his name is? Great!
Oh my.
It's Tony the Incineroar.
I really hate Smash again.
You'd be surprised what I saw the other night. I saw someone, was it Booty Tasty or something like that? I think it's a Smash video or something. I know it was in our recording session for P2 yesterday. I pointed it out. I don't know
PT.
why, but P2. I know I said P2.
I heard PT.
Well, you hear what you want sometimes, Legon. I can't control that.
I'm fully
Yeah,
aware
well
of that, and I don't understand it either.
Yeah, but I don't know why it's whenever we're doing content that I just find the dumbest shit in Smash, or like find fucking Mewtwo King and it's real.
Right, that happened.
So,
That did
Yeah.
happen. We had video of it. I hope you found the VOD of it. That was,
anyway,
At the very least, we had audio. But
we did.
now that we've basically all gone through our weeks, and surprisingly,
We're talking
I
about the
didn't
one
even
thing that
take as
sucked
long
about
as
this-
Yule did.
Shush.
Well, it's because you went on a fucking gush cum session of Temtem.
I still love Temtem. Fuck off. I am
Temtem is
playing
good
it.
though. It's
I
worth.
am playing it. I am playing it as we speak, and I hold no regrets.
Yeah, and I'm playing Smash. Speaking of Smash, that's basically what we're just gonna talk about since it's gonna be the biggest probably topic of the day because this is a slow news week really.
Yeah.
I think our weeks in Smash is gonna take up most of what we're actually gonna talk about today. So 7.0 came out, and no character happened whatsoever. It was just buffs and nerfs. Don't worry about it.
Cloud got buffed. It's the best patch in the game.
Yeah, no, our old friend, he's not old friend. Our friend Aeon's FF7 streams now are now outdated because he named his Cloud nerfed, and he's no longer nerfed. He's buffed. Yeah. Do you want to explain the buffs to Cloud since you're more of a Cloud guy than I am?
Yeah, let me just get them pulled up really quickly. So let's see.
Oh my god, I saw a
Cloud, his dash attack does more knockback. The side smash has easier hitbox. Or basically, the multi-hits connect more easily. Up smash is stronger. Up B grabs ledge quicker, and limit charges faster.
Nice. Yeah, which is good because they take the limit away. They do so. Unlike other bars in the fucking game, a lot of other bars, there's a lot of things that just like strip you of your limit. So the fact that they made it faster just makes it a better. Like now, at least it's faster to get, so I don't feel robbed of my limit when it gets stripped. You know, when it gets taken from me.
Yeah. And another thing that's
I wasn't
basically
wrong.
a universal buff for everyone is an increased shield size and addressing concerns about essentially shield poking when it shouldn't happen thanks to some characters' jank hitboxes. Like Mewtwo, for example, his tail position was changed while he's shielding, so
because his tail would constantly be out of the shield, so almost easy to shield. Like Mewtwo has a lot of good strategies, but it's like it almost felt like defensive options were unfair for Mewtwo because like you literally get one shield poke and one hitbox that no other character has to deal with in the game.
yeah. And then there's also stuff like Donkey Kong's head becoming invincible out of shield so that it can be done more easily. Or, like, for easier invincibility and less shield poking.
Yeah. What were you going to ask, Zeus?
No, I was gonna ask, how vital is the shield size in game?
It's pretty vital.
Yeah,
Pretty vital for shield poking stuff because it's like you can break out a shield, but it's like if certain characters are getting unfairly poked because of their tail, for example, that's something you can't really account for. So that's kind of cool that they fixed that.
Mhm.
That's one of those, and I'm glad about that because like there was a podcast we did where I was literally going, I don't like some of the defensive issues with Smash, and I think that they're addressing that, and that's kind of cool because it's like that's what I wanted. I feel like the shield should be more of a viable option than it is. I mean, having played 7.0 now, I feel like my shields are a lot, and other than the insert character we will not talk about until a couple minutes from now, I think the shields are a lot more durable now. I think they're a lot more viable to just be shielding out of certain moves, and it makes it a much more flowing experience because now I actually feel like I can shield and get out of things and be able to play the game a little more fluid.
Also, I see Joker got a little nerfed.
Yeah, Joker's basically his...
Oh, okay, let's be fair. What was you trying to say? Y'all kind of just shafting him there.
I am just making my own little bet internally about how long does it take for you guys to drop the friendly facade and just
Oh, okay,
go straight to the salt.
Continue. We need to stay happy as long as we can.
Alright, Joker's nerfs are... One of the nerfs that is a little less significant is his downward gun move. Basically, the range is reduced, meaning it isn't a spread shot anymore, it only hits directly downwards. The more significant buff, on the other hand, is that Arsene drains much quicker when you take damage when he's already out, so that he goes away a lot more quickly.
Good. It actually rewards players for actually getting
good. I feel like honestly I would have taken one or the other, and he might have been a little over nerfed, but like I would have taken that, or I would have taken a damage reduce on Arsene, and you can just keep him out as long. Because but then again, I don't know. I would have taken the first one just that he drains faster, because I do feel like the damage makes Arsene a little more unique in that regard. They nerfed him in the right way, because I always felt like Joker felt like an 18-wheeler that moved around like a Corvette. You know, he moves around really, really fast, but he hits you like a damn truck. So you literally have to take one with the other on that kind of design mentality in a fighting game. You can't have a fighting game character that hits massive damage, right? Does brutal kills and massive damage, and also moves around like he's a super lightweight, you know?
Like we've mentioned Waldstein earlier, and if you didn't know, he's essentially one of the big giant brute characters of Under Night In-Birth, and he does not move with the agility of a lightweight. He moves like a heavyweight. He does not move like Hyde or Linné. No.
You go with that analogy. So it's like Joker is that kind of character, you know? And it was always kind of frustrating in that sense that it's like, yes, we do have that mentality of adapt to it, get good. Excuse me, blah 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 blah. I don't know why that happened. Blah 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 though. But it's like, it's unfair to expect people to be literally perfect at the game to beat a to beat a good player. Like, I get it. If someone's good with Joker, that's true. Like, they do deserve the props for labbing the character. But you can't deny the fact that some of it is like, okay, you destroy like a truck, you have a clear advantage by just playing the character in some regard. Now, the fix is something that I think a lot of people can agree on that isn't just literally pandering to my mentality. It's, you have to damage Joker to get the Arsene to go away faster. He doesn't just deal way, way, way less damage.
Yeah, it doesn't just go away.
Faster. Yeah, super fast in general. You have to keep up with your combos. You have to be playing your game decently, because if you don't, then their skills are not getting undermined by this nerf. You know, their skills are still there to show, and they're able to keep up with those combos. It's just they have to actually earn it instead of, oh, you got comboed once, like you get Arsene, fuck you. Like, that's what it felt like sometimes with Arsene, and that's why I've been calling for a nerf for so long, and I'm actually very, very impressed and happy that they nerfed it in the specific way I wanted that makes every party kind of have a fair playing ground.
And speaking of that, they also nerfed the gun special because it used to play...
I already mentioned that.
Yeah, but that'll not be cut out. But your opinion on the gun special, though, because I actually kind of feel like the gun special didn't need that. But go on.
I also feel like they need to nerf the gun special, but at the same time, I also feel like now people cannot complain about how easy it is to approach with Joker. Yeah. Because a lot of people tended to complain about how easy it was to approach it, and because, you know, going down with the gun was actually a really safe option. Not anymore. You have to be exactly below your opponent in order to hit with the gun, which is, you know, pretty sensible, and I believe that is a good balance choice in terms of with Joker. So yeah, you know, if you think otherwise, you know, that's where you have to begin to adapt that playstyle more so. And I'm glad that at the very least, you know, people like MKLeo will not get denied of playing Joker. He will still play Joker, and he will still kick people's asses. So, you know.
Yeah, because what? Oh shit! I just killed myself. Sorry. One of those reactive moments. Yeah, like, because like I said, you have to keep up with the combos, and you have to be able to combo Joker, and it's like he's still so fast that it's like he can a good Joker can still wreck you with Arsene and still wreak havoc playing against you because he is so fast. But it's like, now the one thing I want, which is, okay, your kill power, which is Arsene, and it's not, I mean, Joker does have kills without Arsene, don't get me wrong, but your major gimmick with Arsene is like Terry's in a way, where it's like you have to earn it in some form or fashion. You don't just get it by getting punched and scratched a little bit, you know? It goes away faster, so it's like, you do have to earn those kills with Arsene. You're not just going to get free, overwhelming advantage by just taking damage, which is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I've always complained about Joker over, like, Hero I bitch about, but, like, Hero is... he's a meme, you know? He's funny. He's ridiculous. It's like, you can't help but be like, oh, that's funny, that's goofy, you know? It is what it is.
That is so cute.
Yeah, it's like, oh, fuck, I got kamikaze. God damn it. But
oh, man, Thwack killed me at 0 again.
Yeah, motherfucker. It's like, it sucks, but it's like, it is what it is. So it's like, but with Joker, I felt like...
You can't help but laugh.
Yeah, that's with Joker, though, I felt like that character was designed in an unfair advantage kind of sense. And we watched a video about, like, this kind of stuff earlier, and it's like, there are definitely merits of fairness, but I think Joker broke a little bit of those merits with just the idea that he gets just an overwhelming power gap by just getting hurt in the game. It's like there is a downside to that idea that you have to keep up the combos. You can't just get hurt anymore after it. You can't just like absorb damage until you get what you want, especially with Rebel's Guard, where it's like now you literally can just get Arsene with no effort whatsoever. Almost. So it's like, now that they have nerfed the idea of Arsene just being out forever and just being an infinite power gap that you can do nothing about, I think they've made it a much more fair character in hindsight.
Yeah, we'll see how he performs going forward. Mm-hmm. Now, looking through the other characters, though, I'm shocked. Well, I'm not shocked, but I'm disappointed to see that Sheik has not received any damage buffs. It's just more escapability, really, and one attack got more launch distance.
Great. So now Sheik matches are gonna last even fucking longer. Beautiful.
Yep.
I mean,
another one. Well, I wouldn't say that, especially because one of her hitboxes got buffed as well, where you can actually combo into it much easier than before, which is actually going to lead to some really cool kill setups.
mhm.
So yeah, that's actually a really good plus for Sheik players and shit. Yeah. So yeah, I believe
I guess
that's
that's fair because like Sheik is admittedly one of those characters that's like, man, it can suck playing against a good Sheik because they're just so dominant. But the reality is, it's also one of those characters you have to spend so much time learning that it's like, okay, I think that's one of the few characters no one can deny that dominance is earned.
She
Almost like a
still
Marth
mid-low tier.
or yeah,
yeah, like
like a Marth or a
Yeah.
Greninja. Greninja is like a easier to learn Sheik, of course, but like you still have to learn those characters. So it's like I'm not going to take away anything or say it's an unfair. Like that's why Joker, it felt like a design, like unfair design advantage.
Joker
Even though it
feels
does
more
take
like
lot
a
of-
glass cannon now than anything else, and that's
Yeah, which is
kinda
what he
okay.
should be. 'Cause, like if you're gonna make him strong and fast like that, at least make him a glass cannon.
Now, another
Yeah.
buff that I want to talk about and mention really quickly is one for Ken and Ryu. Their down smashes are now weaker, but at the same time, you can combo the down smashes into true inputs.
That's amazing because you can do that shit with Terry in some regard.
Kinda,
saw
but
what
that's
Terry
only
did,
with
now that-
tilts, and the Street Fighters could already do that in regardless. But this is ridiculous.
Oh yeah, and speaking of the Street Fighters, they got a buff question mark where they are able to cancel smash attacks into special
Down
into
smash
special
only.
attacks. Okay,
Down smash.
fine. Yeah, down smash.
Which
okay,
I
fine, but
literally just mentioned.
Okay, yeah, he literally just said that.
I
He
couldn't
just
hear.
said-
I didn't
he just
hear that
said-
that well. I couldn't hear that well, but because it kind of cut out in my end. But yeah, that's
That sounds like a you problem.
yeah, I know. That's why I said on my end.
Side
But-
special is interesting. Pivoting leg invincible.
Yeah, now with
You
the spinning dragon kick, now they actually have invincible legs during that, so that they can't get hit by like PK fire.
Oh,
Right.
good. It has armor, as it should.
Cool.
No,
Not armor. The legs
invincible.
themselves are invincible.
Yeah,
The legs are. Do the legs have armor?
the leg.
I just imagine them wearing like giant leg plates and like the rest of their bodies just like.
Jesus Christ! No.
We call
That's
those
cheating,
chisel
we-
muscles.
They don't skip leg day.
Oh yeah, we have our very own human Street Fighter here. His name is Zeus.
Yep, that's me.
Yep, I am the Ryu. I am the Ryo. Sakazaki. Anyway.
Ryo Sagasaki. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, fuck
Uh,
off.
I'm glad that Yule's the only one that's actually probably gonna know exactly what I just said right
Yeah.
off the bat.
Yeah, like I cannot.
Anyway.
I can't believe. Yeah, this is basically us saying we are SNK fans, people.
Yeah, we're nerds who have no lives. Unlike these two who have lives, kind of, except for 14 man over here.
And
So
like,
Zeus is the only one that has a life.
No, I'm just one person
No.
who played a lot of arcade fighting games back in the day. So
Hey,
yeah,
what
that's why I know.
But
Alright.
yeah. Anyway, my main, my secondary, Samus got buffed. I'm happy about that.
same with Dark Samus.
Mm-hmm.
Tunlink also got buffed.
Palutena got buffed.
Zoners got buffed. Rejoice.
Sonus got
A
buffed.
few of
That's
them.
basically it.
Yeah, a few Young Link got. Actually, I think Young Link's the one buff I think is like really justifiable because it was like the worst Link.
He was,
Unfortunately.
yeah, he was kind of the weakest of the three links,
The
surprisingly.
weakest Link. Ah!
Yes,
Oh, wait.
It's
Oh,
funny.
my God.
I get it.
He did it. You were saying it though. Like you said it in a specific fashion. You were aiming for that pun. Don't tell me.
Yeah,
That.
he was saying.
Yeah, like on. We're on to you.
Yeah,
Huh?
you set me up. The weakest Link.
What?
He was the weakest Link. Legon's gonna play it off like he didn't, just because he don't want to. He wants to sound all cool and edgy. No, fuck you. You set us up for that pun.
Well, when your waifu's Lene, yeah, I think that's to be expected.
You.
When
Foolishness.
I didn't even mean to big brain, so I small brained.
You small-brained your big brain. Ooh, wait.
Step
I
15
swear,
before
I
step
swear,
3.
I swear,
True.
I swear, Lego plays 60 chess at this point, like...
He plays 60 chess and then he fucking checkmates himself.
Yeah, because I'm playing both sides.
Yeah. The game was rigged from the beginning, I knew it.
Jesus Christ.
There aren't that many
Yeah.
more buffs to go over,
Anyway,
because
yeah.
really everything else that's significant is increased shield
Well,
sizes and
Zelda buffs.
spots that were made
Yeah.
invincible.
Well, what were the Samus and Toon Link buffs? Or whatever. Samus and the Link's buffs.
Young Link, neutral attack 1 is faster. Up smash
Cool.
has
I like
better.
his combo.
Up smash, up air, forward throw have more launch distance. And his
Nice.
Zair and grab are much better.
Wait, Zair? What the fuck is a Zair?
Z-air, something that only
Z-air?
grapple grab characters have, like Lucas and Toon Link.
I
With,
got you.
you know, since
Yeah,
Young Link's
hitting
grab
with
is
the
the hook
tether.
shot.
Hitting with a fucking tether, that, just call it that.
I'm gonna call it a Zair.
Yeah, you also call it fire.
Zero Suit Samus's down B. The berry on that got nerfed. Then
The berry. Wait, the what? What about Samus?
Zero Suit Samus's down B. You know how the second
bury
hit
all.
of it can bury opponents in the ground. Now they don't
Yeah.
stay in there for nearly as long.
Which
So
Probably-
it's almost worthless now. Almost.
yeah, it's kind of
that's,
weird because
That's a weird nerf because
It can still
never
spike,
felt like
though.
That was a. That's cool. I mean, that's
that's
good.
yeah, that's cool. But the burial was pretty much what made them move. Now that the people can, now that the characters can get out of it much faster. Who, you know, what's
It
the
was
point?
kind
Of,
of-
yeah, exactly. Like
Wait.
it wasn't. It wasn't even that. They didn't keep opponents buried that long. What? So they nerfed it even further. So, you know, why? That doesn't make any sense.
Right. That's weird. What was the Samus buff?
Samus buffs. Dash attack is more powerful. Up smash and
Cool.
down smash have up smash, down smash, and up throw have better launch distance. Samus and
Nice.
Zero Suit Samus's Zairs are better, and that's really it.
Nice. Those are things that my Samus actually would benefit from. So cool.
By the way,
Zelda's-
Dark Smash is really good.
Zelda
Like,
buffs.
Zelda. Zelda's forward tilt is more powerful and has more launch distance. Nair is easier to get more hits in with. Up air is just bigger and better. Side B is easier to sweet spot. Down B is more powerful and better shield. Like almost every other character in the roster.
Scarier now.
Yeah,
For sure.
I feel like I don't know, Zelda. Because I can understand some of the King K. Rool buffs, I guess. But like Zelda didn't need much of a buff.
Oh no, but she got him.
Mm-hmm.
She might be pushing top tier now.
King K.
Yeah.
Rool's only buff was adjusted shield center and center. Adjusted the shield center and center of the posture during shielding
Well,
to match.
Yeah, well, not buffs this. I mean, when they did the big buff on him.
Oh yeah, they made his Nair and other things better last patch.
Yeah, I could get last patch buff. I could get it last patch, but like this one, or I could get it, but like with Zelda, I'm a little iffy. I
Yeah.
really don't think that they needed a bigger toolkit to work with. So
Zelda is already overused by the casual audience a little bit because like I have already had a lot of like a little too much experience, some could say, with online Zeldas, where pretty much all of them do the exact same thing, to where it's like, oh, another one. Even if they decide to do another thing differently, the only thing you can do differently is press the A button earlier. That's it.
Mm,
That's all that I found.
That's
Right.
all the fucking archetype is built for. GG.
Yeah. Dr. Mario got a few buffs. His forward tilt is more powerful and launches further. Down tilt is a better combo tool now. His Nair is a lot easier to his Nair sweet spot is a lot better. Down air lasts longer. Up B is more powerful, and that's it.
Something
Right.
I actually saw some people doing in the with the new Dr. Mario is that you can actually down tilt into up B, and it's amazing, man. Like
It does so much
that is such a
knockback.
yeah. I'm pretty sure we're going to see Dr. Mario more in the competitive realm. Pretty
I hope
soon.
so, because I'm getting. I mean, I know that I've been saying it since we've been hanging out and doing all this. I know that Mario is one of the more like Ryu type fundamental tests. If you know Mario, you know fundamentals of Smash pretty well. But it also makes me kind of fucking tired of seeing Mario mains. Like Dr. Mario is at least a difference, you know, in that regard.
Dr. Mario is like, you said, basically Mario is Ryu, then Dr. Mario is kind of like Akuma.
Kind of. I think also kind of like Sean from Street Fighter
It's
3
not.
in general.
It's not like the Ken and Ryu comparison at the very least.
Third Strike is the famous one, but Sean was in New Fucking Generation. He was supposed to be the New Generation Shoto. But yeah, I get your point. Not the time to be a history lesson nerd.
And probably one of the last
Fighting
buff lists that I go
historians.
over.
Yeah, well,
Toon
most
Link.
people don't realize that. Sorry to cut you off. Most people don't realize that Street Fighter had like 3 versions.
Yeah, people think that Third Strike is the name of Street Fighter 3. No.
No, it should be, but no. There was, like, a
Street
second one where
Fighter
they
3 first attempt, Street Fighter 3 version 2.0 the second run, Street Fighter 3 the third try.
Right.
Third
No,
Strike.
but
Oh man.
Third try.
what about Fourth Strike?
No, that's Street Fighter 4.
No. No. Anyway.
Toon Link got a few buffs, kind of. His dash attack has less vulnerability, his down smash is better launch distance, back air comes out faster, his down air can still hit opponents for a lot longer and doesn't have as much end lag for it, and he also got a Zair buff as well.
Nice.
Yay.
A lot of Zair tether buffing this patch I'm noticing.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna check and see if Lucas got any, because I'm curious.
Please no Earthbound kids, please.
No, I'm not seeing Lucas anywhere on here, so I'm just gonna assume that he didn't get any buff for that.
Earthbound Kids. Is this a spin-off I've never heard of?
Earthbound babies. Yeah, no,
Jesus
I
Christ.
just use it to refer to Ness and Lucas as the fucking
It's-
Earthbound kids.
It's Lucas before losing his...
Oh.
I
Oh,
am so
that's
insensitive.
dark.
I am so insensitive. God damn it.
Oh, man, you remember when that tragic moment happened where that kid lost his fucking mother? Yeah, fuck that kid.
And sadly enough, that's one of the tamer moments in Earthbound 3.
True.
Or Mother 3.
Yeah, Mother 3 is actually really dark.
Yes.
Don't get
I mean,
me
doesn't
started
even
on the
have a-
ending.
Yeah,
It doesn't even
Earthbound had a...
It doesn't even end in a good note, but you know
Yeah.
that's spoiler territory. So
Earthbound had like a couple of dark moments, like the police raid, and then like obviously Fetus final boss. But like
Mother 3.
Mother 3 has
Ooh.
like moment after moment after moment of like what the hell.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Any nerfs real quick before we get to the main course?
No
Nope.
real nerfs other than what we've seen with Joker. So
Okay. All
Okay,
right,
we saw this
so
long
we're done
enough.
here. No, we're
Yeah.
done. We're done. Podcast over.
that's pretty
No one
much
cares.
all that we have for Smash Brothers. But there's one more thing that I kind of want to talk about.
Oh
For
yeah,
a little
Dante
bit.
came out. Wait a minute.
we just
You know,
fucking
speaking
talked
of
about
Joker's
Miami.
buffs, since he got his gun slightly nerfed like that on his downward move that very much represents a certain red-coated and white-haired demon spawn, maybe we can get a certain character for Smash Master Hero Soccer Guy?
You stole that joke. I'm not even gonna let you take the credit for that joke.
I know, but it's still
but
funny.
it was good. Why didn't we get your old man Yahoo Pizza guy?
Yeah, come on.
Come on, Master Hero Soccer guy.
Instead, we got some Fire Emblem teacher guy.
Fire Emblem. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, Byleth came out.
Some homeless teacher.
Jesus Christ, guys.
Not Dante.
Guys,
Dante.
can you drop the
Dante.
shade and act? Can you drop the shade and act professional for like 2 seconds before
No.
going back into it?
No.
Alright,
Well, because I mean, if we act professional, then I mean, the reality is none of us are that interested in the character to begin with. Not
They
on
have-
a personal level.
Byleth has good zoning tools, and yeah, they're just
It's-
slow.
Byleth has really good range, but like, and I think it's not like it's like I think Byleth has problems that like I wouldn't even think Joker would probably have if they played similarly. Like, Byleth has a lot of range and is also very slow and heavy and can do a lot of damage. Don't get me wrong. There's so many ways to not, because like we had this argument that Byleth could be broken, and I think that despite the powerful moves and the bullshit that Byleth does have, I feel like it's farther from the truth than it actually could be. There's no way that Byleth is broken because there's just so many negatives. I mean, we were making fun of a meme video we saw, but it is true. Like, landing with Byleth is such a hard thing because he is such a heavy character. He's about as heavy as Ike, but he doesn't have as much of the damage capacity as Ike does overall.
Byleth is kind of like combining Ganondorf and Marth. Specifically Marth's tipper mechanics.
Yeah, and even though the tipper is pretty good, that F smash can kill at like 70. Don't get me wrong.
Forward
But-
air, actually.
Yeah, forward. Well, the aerials do a lot of kill potential stuff, but like the reality is there's so many moves you can do to get Byleth out of whatever they're trying to set up on you that it's like, wow.
Not to
How's-
mention the fact that the
Wow.
hitboxes themselves
Wow.
are extremely precise.
Yeah, so it's like you have to, especially with the tipper stuff like Marth. And the reason why Marth's tipper stuff is good is because he has the speed to learn it and place it very well without
To
actually, without sacrificing mobility. You know, Byleth has no mobility, and to be able to place that stuff perfectly is pretty damn challenging.
It's an exercise in war of attrition, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah,
May
that's
I-
pretty much what I put him down to.
May I
But-
ask,
Oh, go ahead.
yeah, how's the airspeed for Byleth? Because you said he was pretty heavy, and I've been looking at some vids saying that if they move slowly in the air, it's easy to juggle and punish them.
Yeah,
And
Byleth is easy to juggle.
okay, so that's definitely a big
Yeah.
negative, because that's basically the problem that I have with Link, and other heavier characters.
Link,
At
at
least
the
Link
very
can-
least, has the option of, say, the bombs that he can throw downwards,
Yes.
or his downward aerial for getting down
Right.
safely.
And if
Byleth
falls-
doesn't have that.
Oh, that's-
but I mean, if we're talking recovery, at least,
Yeah, the grappling hook is
But-
really good.
yeah, that's the one. I mean, I was gonna make a different point of if you're fighting a Byleth, you're a Byleth fighting another heavy character like a Bowser or even a K. Rool. It's gonna be hard for you because Byleth does not fight well against other people who can hit really hard. You know, as long as you can play keep away, but like the character's so slow that it's kind of hard to play keep away. Someone like Samus is better at doing something like that because at least Samus has some mobility to her.
You mean
Uh,
Samus?
Samus. We're not playing fucking Dragon Daxter. Get out of here. Anyway, yeah, but yeah, that up B is one of the shining lights in a pretty overall boring character. Man, not boring because I did have some fun with him. But
Middling.
yeah, that up B is middling fun. That up B is fucking ridiculous.
It really is, and I absolutely love it.
It almost makes it really hard to approach Byleth off stage because holy shit, you can get spiked out of nowhere.
Again,
If you're
that
not
is
careful.
also, again, where the precision in the attack placement comes into play, because if you get the up B placement wrong on your opponent, you're
You're dead.
essentially screwed out of recovering. Unless you can
Yeah.
somehow luckily hit a wall with your up B, because then that
Which is the
that gives
one
you a
that
free
only
jump.
Yeah, you literally. Well, not only that, you literally. Okay, so you know how Sheik and Lucario and Greninja can wall cling. You get that as a recovery, whereas in your grappling hook can wall cling for you, and you get an extra jump and up B. It's kind of ridiculous.
And you can do it over and over and over again.
I am going to say it is. Remember that mechanic that used to be a thing in Smash Brothers Melee? Yeah, they brought it back and they brought it back for
One
Ultimate.
character that no one
Yeah,
wanted.
exactly, for one character. Yeah, I'm pretty sure
That's
Weed
funny.
knows what I'm talking about because
Yeah.
you can basically get that you can basically get back to the platform that you can basically
Right.
attach your tether to any wall. That was pretty
Yeah,
much the
yeah,
gimmick
yeah.
behind Young Link and Link. So yeah.
Right. And so yeah, it's basically that, but it's better, and it's for one character that no one gives a fucking shit about. The sad thing is here's how I feel about Byleth in a one fell swoop kind of answer. Because his neutral B is the charge bow like Link, but if you do it just a little longer than Link, it's not that much longer than Link's fully charged shot, to be honest. You can get full 30 damage. Here's the problem with Byleth. He has a lot of moves from other characters that are just kind of better on Byleth. Here's the problem. The sum of Byleth's parts do not add up. I think everything that Byleth does better is detracted more by a lot of his negatives.
Jack of all trades, master of none.
Master of none. And then the jack of all trades part is, we can negate half of the jacks. So, get fucked. Because there are a lot of moves that are really strong on Byleth. Here's the problem. A lot of them take a minute to get going, or a lot of them take a minute to hit, or you need a specific range to get a good hit. If you're just not at that range, you're going to get hit out of it. If you're just doing it and they can just get a move off, like... For example, I'm doing it right now. K-Rool's cannonballs are really good at negating some of the moves, even when I'm at a decent range to hit him with it. So that's just a problem. His down B, which, when we were talking about the Byleth reveal, we all thought that the down B was going to be the problem. It's good, but it is just a Falcon Punch. So, but at the same time, I think the Falcon Punch is even a little more reliable, because I think the down B for Byleth is just so easy to see coming.
Oh, so I was right.
Well, kind of, because it does. Here's the thing that makes Hatchet Man a good move is that it can
Super armor.
Okay, no, because Ganon and Falcon Punch have super armor too. And actually, I think Ganon has more super armor than Byleth, by the way, because once Ganon starts, you're not really getting him out of it unless you command grab him. Byleth, you can get knocked out at the start of the move, no matter what. So, but here's the thing: a couple things about Byleth's down B that feel better. The turn is just nonchalant. Like sometimes turning Ganondorf's fucking neutral B, the Warlock Punch, or turning Falcon Punch can be like pulling fucking teeth. It can be really annoying, and you have to be really, really good at the timing of it to just do it. Byleth is just flick of the control stick, and she automatically turns it. So it's like there's no fighting back. There's no unresponsiveness to it. It's a good turn. Another good thing about it is even if you don't get hit spot on, unlike Warlock Punch and Falcon Punch, which is a home run hit, but if you miss, you're a glass cannon. Byleth can even get a little pop up going and a little bit of a 10 damage if you miss a little bit, and it can kind of get you out of some rough binds. But don't rely on the move because again, it is pretty predictable. It can break shield. Here's the other difference: it can break shield. Unlike Falcon Punch or Warlock Punch, which don't do that. It is basically Hatchet Man. It can break your shield even with just a little. Like if you hold your shield for a second, it's gonna break your shield. So don't shield it.
At the same time, despite the down B being able to break shield, if you even for another thing, just for the amount of shield breaking moves Byleth has, fully charged bow, if your shield has any sort of damage at all, it will break when you get hit by the fully charged arrow. Not to mention the down smash itself, if you charge it to any extent, will also pretty much break any shield. And the down smash will come out fairly quickly compared to the other ones, even compared to forward smash, which surprises me.
So, do you think Byleth's mix of game is there to make him viable for competitive play?
Not really.
Or is it just too?
I don't think there's a lot of mix-up there going on, to be honest.
Because you have to make reads and then hope players.
Yeah.
Into them.
I think Byleth's best tool because we had another player who was doing it a lot. I think Byleth's best tools are honestly some of a lot of Fire Emblem characters, to be honest. Some of his best tools are his aerials, because the neutral air is literally just Palutena's neutral fucking air, which is annoying. Doesn't do as much damage, don't get me wrong, so it's not as brutal, but it can. The neutral air can really do some of that mix-up stuff and really can poke and get people out of their rhythm. And then the other aerials just do a lot of damage, because I'm pretty sure, do they have tippers, or do they just...
The forward and back air have tippers. Up air and down air
Right.
don't.
Up air and down air are just their own thing, yeah. So yeah, those moves are pretty good, but a lot of his ground game is pretty mediocre, because it just takes too much setup sometimes.
It's
Plus- Go
it's a
ahead.
shame because this was the fight. This is the final fighter in the DLC pack.
That's what, and that's why I'm getting so sick of like the Fire Emblem fanboys and fangirls being so high. And I get it. Don't get me wrong. You got your character. That's cool. But like, come on, man. This is so disappointing for being the final character in the fighter pass that could have been immaculate.
And by the way, before someone misinterprets this, no, we're not asking for the final character to be broken. We're not asking to have, ultra broken, bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, and I was saying this earlier too on stream. I was like, look, I'm not disappointed because it's not the character it's not Dante. Legon jokingly keeps saying it, but even I think that Legon can agree. It's not just because it's not Dante. It's literally that it's the one character that we did not... It's not that we didn't want, but it's like the one character that was so fucking predictable, and we were like, almost... who said it best? Some streamer said it best. I think it might have been... I don't know who it was. I think it might have been Max. Can I finish my point?
Yeah, sorry.
Max said it best in that it's the one character we literally all knew was coming and expected, and because we all knew it was coming and expected, we were surprised that they did it, because they just couldn't have done it, right? They couldn't have done it with how good this pass was. With Terry, Banjo, Joker, all these amazing characters. There's no way that the fifth one of this is just Joker, right? And sorry, let me correct myself. There's no way.
Terry disgraced Joker.
Yeah, there's no way that the fifth one of this pass is just another Fire Emblem character, and yet that's literally what we got. That's why we all groaned when we saw the fucking... Any reaction you see of that reveal, their soul leaves their body the minute they see it, because they just... You knew the minute you saw a Fire Emblem cutscene, you're like, fuck, it happened.
We've always had these big things happen with each new DLC fighter. Joker crashes the servers, Hero destroys the meta, Banjo-Kazooie causes fanboys to squeal, Terry Bogard isolates the casuals, Byleth disappoints everyone.
Yeah, I mean, it says a lot that a lot of the characters... I mean, they had a better grip on the servers and all that when other characters came out, but there was a lot of traffic for almost every character except for Byleth. Maybe Terry, but Terry, you can say that they fixed more of the servers, but there was a lot of intrigue in Terry when it came out. There's a lot of like people going, "Wow, well, people complain about input commands don't count. We're just gonna ignore them," because there's a lot of people who were like, "Wow, this character is, I don't know him, but he's kind of cool." And with Byleth, there's like barely any souls that are like, "Yeah, I like this."
Compared to woo.
Yeah, and we had fun. I admit, I have fun with the character when I'm playing Dittos and for fun and casualies, but playing the character legitimately, I just don't see it being fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It is what it is. At the end of the day, Byleth happened. We can't fix it.
On to the next fighter.
On to the next fighter, yeah.
The only thing that Nintendo can really do to fix this, to mend this wound for me, is give me Dante. Just give me Dante.
Yeah, because I think you would have accepted anyone but Byleth, but now that Byleth happened, you really are gonna hop on the train.
Give me Dante or I quit Smash.
I'm going to be less kind. Like,
well,
I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, but
how do you get less kind than give me the thing I want, or I'm not gonna pay for it?
Oh, you want to know what I'm going to say?
Well,
Pilot was a waste of time.
Okay, well, shit.
Oh,
what I was just gonna say was,
yes, he was.
shit. This is getting out of hand. Stop. Yeah, I think just before I let Yule go on his rant, I agree. Some of my final thoughts on Byleth are kind of a waste of time. Yes. I just feel like it doesn't make sense for 5. I felt like this could have been 6. The start of the new pass, and great, we get the Fire Emblem out of the way. Everyone's happy. It just doesn't make sense. I don't buy any of the explanations either of, oh, there's legal trouble with number 5, so they moved Violet up. No, I think everything was decided day one, and blah, 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 and it was just a really bad decision. Sakurai kind of trolled us, and it's one of the few times Sakurai trolled us where I'm like, dude, you're really tone deaf. It didn't work. Even the Banjo troll, even the Kanko troll, they're funny, right? They're really good, and Sakurai had those moments where he's trolled us before, and it's like, that's funny. It just felt tone deaf with this one. Because, like, really? You already knew that people were sick of Fire Emblem. Nintendo knew people were kind of tired of Fire Emblem getting into Smash, you know? And I just don't know. I just think that with 6, I'm not on the same level of Legon. Here's the problem. If Fighter Pass 6 is a Sword and Shield Pokemon, people are going to be so salty and done.
Please, I don't want to even imagine that right now.
Yeah, so let's not. But we won't. We will talk about it another time. But yeah, give me anyone interesting with 6. I don't care. Give me someone interesting. Give me a newcomer. Give me the damn last third-party character that I feel like I was kind of promised.
Yes.
And then we'll move from there. Because
even if it's not Dante, at the very least, a deserving third party.
Yeah, because if it's just if you're gonna, because we all are under the assumption that a lot of 6, there's gonna be a couple of 6 that are just represented series already. I don't think they're gonna get 6 fully new third-party characters. Period.
It's not gonna be entirely third party, that's for sure.
Yeah, and that's why Violet's so damn disappointing at the end of this one, because I felt like this could have been the one that's like, okay, cool, every new party, third comer, cool, new characters, love it. Anyone's new, even if people don't like the specific choices, new series represented, I love it. But we didn't fucking get that. They picked Violet. Like, they picked Fire Emblem and acted like it was a new series and kind of pissed people off with it. It's like, now I'm really conflicted on 6. So, or Fighter Pass 2. So that's my final thoughts. So just take it before.
I mean, the real tea is how many of my friends, who are also players in the competitive scene, mind, here in Mexico, they were all making like these passive aggressive remarks, such as, you know, I'm so glad that I got my cash back so that I could buy another game because I really don't care about this character. I'm like, man, people didn't like this character at all.
And I don't agree necessarily with that. Like, I definitely think that I'm still gonna play Smash. I still like it, but yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. At the very least, I can continue to be in denial and use the female Dante skin. Who's an Edelgard?
And also random RNG Dante.
And Joker Dante. And Bayonetta Dante.
God damn it.
We have 4 Dantes in the game that aren't Dante.
I know, right? What the hell is this?
Exactly.
A video game
by Master Hero Socrates. But yeah. What were your thoughts gonna be, Yul? Because you have some thoughts, I'm sure.
Yeah, like, I mean, most of the thoughts that I was going to say were already spoken by Weed and Lagon, but essentially, I just think that this guy is a waste of time. We didn't really get anything from him, and we're definitely not going to see anything good coming from him. So, you know, I'm not going to be as kind as to say, you know, yeah, he's in. You know, they got their character. We always knew that they were going to get their fucking character. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
you know, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
gonna make that point. Go ahead.
If you're going to pretend like Violet was never going to come, like, we needed Fighter Pass, we needed that 5th slot in the Fighter Pass. Yeah, you're really delusional at that point, because we all knew that he was going to be in it. Just you know, not give us this character like right now, you know.
Yeah, and the thing is about that too, is specifically to agree with Yul, is like, at least this wasn't the last DLC character last for sure. But what if it was? Oh my god, the disappointment would be 10 times more justified. Because, like, for fucking real. Oh, hold on. My stupid. I hate pulling up articles for the docket and they start playing fucking ads. Fuck off. Fuck off. Anyway, behind the scenes technical difficulties over. Yeah, man, like, this is not the last one. Great. But it's the timing. Like I could even take this character as is right now if it was in Fighter Pass 2 and it doesn't matter, the stakes are lower. We can just say, it's not great, but whatever, who cares? You know, but it's the fact that it's 5 and B. Ever since that Fighter Pass 2 was announced, I was guaranteeing Byleth, and I'm obviously not wrong, but I knew Byleth was going to get in. So that's why I don't get the justification for Starbox fans to act like they didn't, they deserve a chip on their shoulder. Like, oh, I was not going to get Byleth. Well, yeah, you fucking were. Three Houses sold really well. Do you think they were not going to put a Fire Emblem rep from Three Houses in because because people complained about it? No. Like, it's great that, good for them that our complaining won't kill their chances of getting the character, but it's like, you are, like, top 3 of most overrepresented characters in the franchise right now. And Mario, yeah, there is too many, and I wouldn't want another Mario character in. But again, like I've been saying, most iconic video game franchise in Nintendo history, literally without it, we wouldn't have Smash Brothers, etc., etc. It's justifiable. Pokemon is in the same boat. None of us want another Pokemon, and there's no justification. We don't want another Pokemon. We're probably going to get one.
Yeah, so we are going to get one. Not probably, yeah. We are.
We are. So it's like, these fan bases have no room to act like their character is such a surprise. Get in, oh my god, woo! It's like, good for you, but kind of just enjoy it in a corner because we're all kind of sick of it at this point. No offense, but no, I don't want to say no offense because if someone takes offense to that, I'm sorry, but it's just a reality. You are in a corner by yourself. Fire Emblem fans, you got all these characters. It's oversaturated, and it's always the protagonists, and it's always some of the least interesting characters in the franchise.
Exactly. Yeah, because people keep making memes like saying
put in Hector or put in anyone.
Why are you putting Hector?
Yeah, or anyone else that's fun, or even like I would have loved Claude in the game or Edelgard if you really had to.
Stop!
Damn popular.
I want Soften. That is good, damn it.
or if you really wanted to have Sothis be a Palutena type, you could do it. But still, it's like the reality is, it's always the protagonist. And here's another interesting fact that people forget about Corrin getting into Smash 4. Corrin got announced for Smash 4 before that game was even announced for the West. That's where all the overexposure comes from. That's where all the memes come from, that there's too many Fire Emblem characters in. Yeah, the number's not as big, don't get me wrong. But people are also saying it's overrepresented because of stuff like that. Corrin got in before the game was even announced in the West. So it's like, give me a break. It's business, and Smash fans have a justifiable. This is one of the few justifiable disappointments and feelings in Smash community. There's so much love put into these games. There's so much video game history love and love from Sakurai and the team that when you feel like a character is just a business fucking decision, it feels dirtier because this is not a game that's meant to just be. I mean, it is at the end of the day, but we don't think about it like, oh, this character got in because business. Like, it feels like it got love put into it, and Byleth is the key example of this. This does not feel like there's love. None of the Fire Emblems feel like there were love put into it. It feels like a pure marketing ploy.
And with that said, I think it's time that we finally stop talking about this because it's clear that it's very much draining all of us for better.
Yeah.
No, there is no better.
Yeah.
Yeah, for worse. For worse and for worse.
For bad and for worse. So let's move on to something that, at the very least, I am interested in. Potential Resident Evil 8 details. Though I do want to give out a disclaimer for this. No actual development has been stated to be started on Resident Evil 8, so all of this is just hypothesis. Though,
speculation at this point.
Yeah, it's essentially speculation, but it is something that I wanted to talk about because it is from some trusted sources regarding Resident Evil information. So, the first point that they have shown is that Ethan from Resident Evil 7 is going to be the main protagonist of Resident Evil 8.
Okay. That's pretty... I'm glad they're bringing him back if that's true. I hope they keep the continuity going with that, kinda. I think they could.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure RE7 basically set Resident Evil into a soft reboot, because, I mean, how do you really continue Chris Redfield after RE6?
Which is interesting, though, because if you read another one of the details, Chris Redfield will be around at some point, so it's like, it's kind of not.
Yeah, to jump the gun a little bit there, one of the later points is that Chris Redfield will return in some form. What kind of way will he return? We do not know. But one of the things is that he will return.
Right.
He shall return for all of us who don't deserve him.
The Avengers and Chris Redfield shall return
He'll punch boulders.
into Thanos' face. Yeah.
Next
Fuck
point.
Thanos, I got Boulder Puncher guy.
Next thing is that Resident Evil 8 will also be first person, just like Resident Evil 7, and that I'm
mixed on that because I know Resident Evil 7 was successful, and it's kind of cool that they're going to try to stick with continuity. But I really think with the RE2 and 3 remakes, it's like this format is really good. I almost want like how there's still rumors. I don't know if they're growing, but there are rumors that Vicarious Visions are going to make original Crash and Spyro titles based on the old ones, using the experience they got while making the remakes. I think that Resident Evil could benefit from that mentality of we could make a new Resident Evil with this RE2 and 3 remake style. I think people would dig
with
it.
the RE engine.
Yeah, I think people would really dig it, and it's like I think you could actually flesh out. Because here's the problem with the first-person perspective: Ethan doesn't have a fucking character to me. Because I feel like even though he talks and has a personality, it's so underrepresented because I can't ever see what he looks like, and I can't ever tell what he's thinking or feeling.
Yeah, because most of what it is just, oh, come on, you're still alive, Jack?
Yeah, and it's like, and it's weirdly action movie-y, and even the action movie stuff for Leon worked because his expressions were just so goofy, and a lot of the pile driving and all that shit, you see it firsthand.
Yeah, he may have been an action dork, but he was still kind of a dork.
Yeah, and it's like you don't see that in the first-person perspective because I think it's cool that they wanted to capitalize and flesh out the potential of what PT set up. But you sacrifice certain things about that make RE kind of RE in the end by doing it, and the fact that they're continuing with it, it's cool, but it's skeptical because there's a little bit of disappointment that comes with that.
I think if they handle it somewhat like they did with the Not a Hero DLC, where they basically had Chris's interactions with other characters be something that's very prevalent and something that happens very, very frequently, which can also be used to show personality. I think if they do that with Ethan and RE8 with first person, they can really flesh him out and make him an actual character instead of quips.
Yeah, because, I mean, don't get me wrong, some of the action quips work for Leon in 4 because he's already gone through RE2 and he's still kind of a dork, but it's like he's experienced, so the quips make sense. And
Ethan...
even RE, can I finish saying something?
Okay.
Sorry.
He gives a chance to speak.
Alright, go.
Oh, no. You're still talking.
No, go.
Alright, I was just going to bring up the point of Ethan in Resident Evil 7. It's implied that he knows things about, like, biological hazards and all that other stuff, but it's like, at the same time, none of that is directly stated. So, none of the quips really make sense. It's like, you're acting like you've seen this before, but really this is the first thing that we have ever known you to do in a survival horror aspect. So it's like that you're making these quips when you have no grounds or reason to.
Yeah, but I think even in RE7, I'm sorry, even in RE7, Ethan felt believable, even though he was the first person. Because you could feel his fear and his hesitation throughout, especially the first half of the game. And him slowly gaining that confidence throughout the rest of the game, I think, makes him interesting. So I hope in RE8 they actually give him the opportunity to have him flesh out more. So, I mean, we'll see what happens, but rumor is still just a rumor. I'm not sure what more we can really dissect into it except just pure speculation.
Alright, and then the next...
I mean...
If you had something to say, go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Alright, so the next point for... Like, the next thing that's rumored to be in Resident Evil 8 is zombies returning from, like, you know, the classic Resident Evil zombies. So, yeah, that's happening.
Wait, what?
Zombies are supposedly returning in Resident Evil 8. It's not the molded.
Oh.
I guess we're back to a different virus strain.
Probably.
I mean,
How they're gonna handle it in the story, I have no idea.
yeah,
But Resident Evil stories have always been wacky, goofy, crazy stuff. So bring it on. And then another thing to basically kind of reinforce that is that there's also going to be a new wolf-like enemy type. Some are speculating it to be werewolves.
Now that'd be really cool and also terrifying. Just downright terrifying.
That I'm trying. I was about to say that is ridiculous, but then I remember this is Resident Evil, so fuck.
Yeah, this is the same series that has given us a gigantic scorpion man that can turn back into a human being.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, exactly. So like, I'm not gonna even like pretend like this is deeply submerged in realism. Because
It's also the series that has made the enemies that have all their exposed organs stronger than normal zombies.
Yep. When you can manipulate genetics, anything is possible. We've seen mutated T-Rexes.
Yeah, you know what? Let's fucking take that to
Yeah.
the fucking.
And since we're already on the enemies, this is going to be the last point that's actually speculated currently.
Uh-huh.
Is there's going to be a new stalker enemy type. Nothing is known aside from the name.
If it's anything like the Dead Space 2 Stalkers, I mean, those would be fun. Remember
Potentially.
those, Yule?
Hmm?
The Stalkers from Dead Space. How...
Oh.
Yeah, like, they pretty much react to every sound and blind spot, and... those sections
So,
were pretty much...
essentially
pretty terrible.
lickers, but hyper.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Hey, I mean, you gotta keep the series from getting stale, so you gotta make it scarier and better, I guess.
Hey,
that'll do
these liquor things worked in Resident Evil 2, right? They're iconic, right? Let's just take them again and make let's put the thing from the brain there and then put it in this other thing here. Perfect.
Right. I mean,
That's
I'm not
currently
sure,
all
like-
that's speculated about Resident Evil 8 currently. So, what do you think about it?
I think that it can lead up to a good game. Like, so far from what you're telling me, there's a lot I can expect and a lot I can get disappointed by. Like, for example, werewolves. The idea of werewolves is just, I just can't get over that. Okay, just why?
It's okay. I understand you not being able to knife G1 on your first try.
God damn it! Like, man, how long do you plan to rub the fact that you did what we set out to do in Resident Evil 2 on our face?
As long as you try and keep bringing it up.
Okay, fine, but like I was saying before, I think that Resident Evil 8 can work if if people, how should I say it? If it's designed to be a horror game first and a cheesy action movie flick second, I believe that they will have something solid on their hands. Especially because the RE engine works pretty well with this kind of setting. So yeah.
We've also had Resident Evil 7 for them to basically test the waters with the RE engine, and considering how well that goes, how well it went, I should say, I'm excited for RE8, because at the very least I know it'll be a solid game, and it'll be something that I'll enjoy. Like, it's not gonna be, it probably won't be Remake 2 levels of replayability or like favorite for me, but it'll certainly be high up there, because it's like, Resident Evil games, at this point, certainly, are always gonna be quality, and I'm always gonna really just love what they've done.
Honestly, I am in the same camp. I mean, I'm still a huge Resident Evil fan, especially even after the disaster that was Resident Evil 6. But
They got back on their feet, and that's what matters.
Yeah, I believe that they can. I believe that they can actually pull it off. But they need a lot of dedication and a great direction support. So Yeah, I believe that it can be good.
So,
Yeah.
one more thing
Anything
that I
else on
do
this?
want to bring up as just a random topic. Since we've already brought up Resident Evil remakes, what do you think about Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6 remakes?
No.
Or at the very least,
So,
when do you think they'll happen, if at all?
No, remasters at most, but remakes, no.
4,
don't
I
think
want a
so.
remake in the RE engine, honestly.
I
'Cause-
mean, will that be a remaster then instead of a remake?
I don't know, because there could be a lot of things that you could revamp with the treasure system. It's like you don't really... Like, say you brought back the item boxes in RE4 instead of having the merchant and the treasures and all that, and you could have different kinds of weapons, and you could... Instead of, like, having the vendor for buying items, you could upgrade the weapons and nothing else. You couldn't buy anything. You just had to go with what you found. That would be a lot more interesting and more horror-oriented than what RE4 currently has. Or had, I should say, considering it came out on the PlayStation 2.
Mm-hmm.
RE5 and 6, though, yeah, they need complete remix.
Yeah, I don't think that 5 and 6 need remakes. I believe that they're fine as it is, especially because, you know, why go back to those games? Especially because they kind of...
RE6, I would
suck.
understand completely avoiding, but RE5 is more debatable, because that one is still more easily rooted in survival horror compared to Resident Evil 6, where it's... yeah, let's not get started on
I
6.
don't know, man. Like, I understand the idea, but no, I just don't like. No matter how hard I try, I just don't feel confident in that regard. I don't know, like
It's interesting.
sorry. Yeah, it is interesting to think about, but at the very least, I believe that Capcom will does have enough common sense to, you know, just go and make the next Resident Evil entry rather than, you know, just going with another remake or another game. There will be a point where people will be pissed off, you know?
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, I think that, like, if a Resident Evil 4 remake would happen at any point, it would be after RE8, maybe after RE9.
yeah, because the timeline would definitely line up. It'd be 20 years since RE4, what was 2004? So I can see it then, but before that, nah. They need to focus on getting their current projects out and make sure they take their time and make sure if and when they go back to do RE4, they actually provide an experience that's unique and better, like how the other remakes did. We don't want to rehash, as good as the game is.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all that we have for the podcast this week. It was kind of slow, besides my real life, which...
I mean, yeah, I believe that is all. I believe that is about it.
Yeah, well, thanks for joining us again for another podcast. And yeah, well, looking forward to be back next week.
Yeah, where we'll shit talk a little bit more about Violet and then, you know, have a lot of fun.
No, it'll probably be worse because we won't actually care enough to even bother mentioning Byleth.
Okay, fine then. Fine then. How about Stadia?
That's still going.
Yeah, oddly enough.
Something is wrong with big businesses.
Yeah, I know, but okay. Yeah, we can talk about it. We will talk about other subjects.
Those are
next week.
things that we can talk about another time, because now it's like, those are not things that we really want to dwell on, because we've talked about things that we enjoyed and just what's happened this week and other things and all the things that we really came here to talk about. So.
Oh well. So yeah, see you guys next week, and like always, have a good night and take care.
Yep, see ya.